Welcome back to America's Biggest Crimes, where we uncover the darkest corners of crime and controversy in the spotlight. And today, we're diving into the chaotic legal history of R&B superstar Chris Brown. From his shocking 2009 assault on Rihanna to a string of lawsuits, arrests, and allegations that continue to haunt him in 2025, Brown's career is a roller coaster of talent and trouble. This is a deep dive into every major legal battle he's faced, over a dozen incidents spanning 16 years. Why does Brown keep landing in court? Is he a victim of his own fame, or a repeat offender who's dodged accountability? Grab a seat, pause for 5 seconds and hit that like button, and subscribe to America's Biggest Crimes for more jaw-dropping stories. Let's get into it. First on our list is the 2009 Rihanna assault, the case that shocked the world. On February 8, 2009, the music world stopped in its tracks. Chris Brown, then a 19-year-old heartthrob with hits like Run It and With You, was arrested for a brutal assault on his girlfriend, pop icon Rihanna. The incident happened in a rented Lamborghini in Los Angeles, the night before the Grammy Awards. According to police reports, an argument turned violent, with Brown punching, biting, and choking Rihanna, leaving her with a split lip, swollen face, and bruises. Photos of her injuries, leaked days later, sparked global outrage. Brown turned himself in to the LAPD, facing charges of felony assault and making criminal threats. By June 2009, Brown struck a plea deal to avoid jail time. 5 years of probation, 180 days of community service, mostly road cleanup in Virginia, and a year of domestic violence counseling. A 5-year restraining order barred him from contacting Rihanna, except at public events, where the distance was reduced to 10 yards. The judge warned Brown, one slip-up could mean prison. The public reaction was explosive. Fans split into camps. Some defended Brown, citing his youth and talent, while others demanded his cancellation. Rihanna's fans, especially, felt the plea deal was a slap on the wrist. Why? Critics pointed to Brown's celebrity status and the influence of his legal team. This case didn't just tarnish Brown's image, it raised questions about how fame impacts justice. We'll revisit this theme later, but let's move to what happened next. Secondly is probation violations and a downward spiral. Brown's 2009 plea deal came with strict probation rules, but sticking to them proved tough. In 2012, while serving community service in Virginia, he tested positive for marijuana. The court held a hearing to decide if this violated his probation, but Brown dodged serious consequences after his team argued the test was unreliable. Things got messier in 2013. Brown was ordered to complete rehab for anger management after a string of incidents, including a hit-and-run charge in Los Angeles, which was later dropped. But in October 2013, he was kicked out of a Malibu rehab facility for throwing a rock through his mother's car window during a family session. A judge sent him back to rehab, where he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and PTSD, details his team later used to explain his behavior. By March 2014, Brown violated rehab rules again, leading to his arrest for a probation violation. He was sentenced to 131 days in jail, but served 108, released in June 2014 due to overcrowding and good behavior credits. His probation from the Rihanna case finally ended in March 2015, closing a 6-year saga. But freedom didn't mean the end of his troubles. Brown's time behind bars and his diagnoses sparked debates. Was he struggling with mental health, or using it as an excuse? Posts on X from fans at the time showed sympathy, but critics weren't buying it. Thirdly is also a pattern of alleged violence. Brown's legal battles didn't stop with probation. A string of alleged assaults kept him in the headlines. In October 2013, he was arrested in Washington, D.C., for felony assault after allegedly punching a man outside the W Hotel, reportedly over a photo request. The charge was reduced to a misdemeanor, and Brown pleaded guilty, avoiding jail but fueling perceptions of a temper problem. In 2015, a man claimed Brown assaulted him during a basketball game at a Las Vegas hotel. No charges were filed, but the incident added to the narrative. In 2016, Brown's former manager, Mike G., sued him, alleging Brown trapped him in a room and punched him repeatedly. The case settled out of court in 2019, with no public admission of guilt. In 2017, a photographer claimed Brown sucker-punched him at a Tampa nightclub called Aya Channelside. Brown was arrested in 2018 on a felony battery warrant, but released on $2,000 bail. The case fizzled out, but the headlines didn't. Visual, concert footage, lawsuit filings. Fast forward to July 2024, and Brown faced a $50 million lawsuit from 4 men who claimed he and his entourage brutally beat them backstage after a concert in Fort Worth, Texas, during his 11/11 tour. The plaintiffs alleged Brown orchestrated the attack, leaving one with severe injuries requiring hospitalization. The lawsuit is ongoing, with Brown denying the claims. These incidents, spanning over a decade, suggest a pattern to some, but are they isolated or part of a bigger issue? Let's talk about that after we cover his other allegations. Number 4 are sexual assaults and restraining orders. Some of Brown's most serious allegations involve sexual assault and threats. In 2017, his ex-girlfriend, model Karrueche Tran, obtained a 5-year restraining order after claiming Brown sent her threatening texts, including a vow to kill her, and harassed her friends. The court granted the order, citing credible evidence of danger. Brown's team called the claims exaggerated, but the order stood until 2022. Visual, news headlines, lawyer statements. In 2018, a woman filed a lawsuit alleging she was sexually assaulted at Brown's Los Angeles mansion during a party. She claimed Brown trapped her in a room and refused to let her leave. The case dragged on but was dismissed in 2020 for lack of evidence. In 2022, a bigger bombshell hit. An anonymous woman, referred to as Jane Doe, sued Brown for $20 million, alleging he drugged and raped her on a yacht owned by Sean Diddy Combs in Miami in 2020. She claimed Brown gave her a drink that left her disoriented. Brown denied the allegations, and text messages later surfaced showing a consensual relationship. The accuser's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, dropped the case, citing ethical concerns, and it was dismissed in August 2022. Brown threatened to countersue for defamation, but hasn't followed through. These cases, while unproven, kept Brown under scrutiny, with ex-posts from 2022 showing fans debating his guilt or innocence. Number 5 is the 2023 London nightclub incident. In May 2025, Brown was back in the headlines, arrested in Manchester, England, for an incident that took place at Tape nightclub in London in February 2023. Music producer Abe Dior accused Brown of smashing a tequila bottle over his head multiple times, causing lacerations and torn ligaments. Dior filed a $16 million lawsuit, and Brown was charged with grievous bodily harm with intent, assault causing actual bodily harm, and carrying an offensive weapon. Brown pleaded not guilty, posting $6.7 million in bail to secure his release. Conditions include surrendering his passport when not touring and residing at a UK address. His trial is scheduled for October 2026, with a pre-trial hearing in June 2025. Dior's lawsuit claims Brown has a history of violence, pointing to past incidents. Brown's team insists he's innocent, but this case could have serious consequences, especially abroad. Ex-posts from fans show mixed reactions. Some see it as another setup, others as proof of a pattern. Chris also has some lesser-known legal troubles. Not every legal issue involves violence. In 2018, Brown faced charges in California for owning a capuchin monkey named Fiji without a permit. He surrendered the animal to authorities, avoiding jail but paying a fine. It was a minor scandal, but it showed Brown's legal troubles extend beyond assault. In 2024, Brown and Drake were hit with a copyright lawsuit over their 2019 hit, No Guidance. Another artist claimed the song ripped off their track, alleging similarities in melody and lyrics. The case is still pending, but it's another reminder that Brown's legal battles aren't limited to physical altercations. These smaller cases keep his name in court, feeding the narrative of a star who can't stay out of trouble. Number 7 is the 2024 documentary and defamation lawsuit. In October 2024, Investigation Discovery dropped a bombshell, a documentary titled Chris Brown, A History of Violence, part of their No Excuse for Abuse campaign. It detailed Brown's alleged pattern of abuse, from the Rihanna assault to the 2020 yacht allegations, featuring interviews with victims' advocates and legal experts. The documentary didn't pull punches, framing Brown as a serial offender. In January 2025, Brown fired back, filing a $500 million defamation lawsuit against Warner Brothers and the documentary's producers. He claimed they falsely labeled him a serial rapist and sexual abuser, damaging his reputation and career. The lawsuit is ongoing, with no resolution as of July 2025. On X, fans rallied behind Brown, calling the documentary biased, while critics praised it for exposing his history. This legal battle could redefine how Brown's story is told. Chris Brown's legal saga isn't just about one man. It's a case study in fame, power, and accountability. The 2009 Rihanna assault brought domestic violence into the spotlight, inspiring campaigns like No Excuse for Abuse. Yet Brown's career thrived, with hits like Loyal and sold-out tours. How? Some argue his talent and fan base overshadow his crimes. Others say the legal system, swayed by his wealth and status, has been too lenient. On X, fans debate endlessly. Should Brown be cancelled, or has he paid his dues? His bipolar and PTSD diagnoses add complexity. Do they explain his behavior, or are they a convenient excuse? Compare this to other celebrities like R. Kelly, whose career tanked after convictions, or Tory Lanez, jailed for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Why does Brown's star keep rising? It's a question that divides fans and critics alike. Chris Brown's story is a paradox. A global superstar with a rap sheet that won't quit. From felony assault to restraining orders, lawsuits, and an ongoing trial in 2025, his legal troubles span nearly 2 decades. Yet he's still selling out arenas and topping charts. Is he a troubled artist fighting his demons, or a repeat offender dodging justice? What do you think, America's biggest crimes fam? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Brown face harsher consequences, or is he unfairly targeted? Let us know what crime story you want us to tackle next.